Hey, and welcome to another video on Dragons B10, covering various free-to-play speed teams using no galleon and no bird. Speed teams are often used by mid-game players who want to speed up their Dragons teams, and this covers quite a lot of those teams and might give you some ideas to build your speed team. So the first team is pretty straightforward. We use Veramos to cleanse off the dots. And we use Theo for damage, Tark for damage, and Lapis for damage, and some attack bar reduction on the boss. Bella is obviously obtained through a secret dungeon, Theo from Guild Wars, Veramos can be fused, Tark is a 2-star, and Lapis we get from the start. So nothing too special here. Bella moves first. I have Theomars to move right after because he has the potential to also armor break. I built my Veramos on a DPS build for this, just to maximize the damage output. If you can start with a tanky build and try the same team. If it still works, you can switch over to a DPS bird, which should increase your timers by quite a lot. If that doesn't work, you can also put up the HP lead of Veramos, as I have the attack lead of Lapis, which is really fortunate. The runs are usually 110 to 130, depending on how well they do at the boss stage, because this team is very durable. With the Veramos out there, you can pretty much tank a hit from the dragon and not die instantly, and the Veramos should cleanse off enough of the dots to actually survive and do well. It's unfortunate that the Bella did not land his C's there, but even if that happens, you have enough damage to actually kill the boss and make it all the way to the end. This shows you that it's actually a safe team, and while being quite fast. Alright, that's it for this run. Not the fastest run, could be a lot faster, but as you can see, it's still 147, and this is one of the slower runs. So, moving on to the next team. Lapis is out and Megan is in. Megan adds a lot more safety to the team, as well as the attack and defense buff, obviously. There's also a second strip out of Megan and some extra dots. I'm taking Veramos lead because Veramos gives you HP, and we don't really need the crit lead in this because I already have my Tark, Veramos, and Theomars, well, maximized on crit, so I don't really need the crit lead, but you can opt for going a crit lead of the Theomars if you cannot get the crit needed for this. Mind you, this is not the fastest speed team I want to show, but it is the safest. The other team had around a 90% win rate, and this one hasn't failed me in over 2 refills. Every team I show has been tested over 2 refills to not get a lucky team, but this is by far the safest. It's really solid. There's not much which can go wrong. You have 3 monsters to make this team really safe, and you have 3 DPSers as well. Counting my Veramos as a DPSer as well, because, well, I built him on Rage, I believe. I'll show all the runes at the end, obviously. But still, this is a very fast run, around 130-ish average. So please do build this team to speed up your Dragons B10. So here's the next team using double Tark and Lapis Spectra. This is the team I showed earlier in a video as well, and it works wonders. It thrives around attack bar reduction, and the double Tarks take care of all the damage actually. With the group hunts, it's very solid because whoever gets taken, their cooldowns are also reduced. So let's say, for instance, a Spectra moves first and uses his third skill, or her third skill, whatever. whenever she or he, let's call it it gets taken, it can instantly use its skill again, which is amazing. Whenever the attack bar reduction fails, it might get a little bit tricky, but it depends on the rune quality to make it really work. But then again, that's always the case with speed teams. So whenever it fails, try to upgrade some runes, try to put your best runes on these teams, or whichever you want to choose. That all depends on what you want to build. Thought I'd show it out there. It has a win rate of around 90%, as all the other teams, and this team gets it broke actually the 1 minute mark, which is really fast in my opinion for a speed team. Dragons B10 free to play. The double targets, one is on violent, Spectra should be on violent. Other than that, Bella should be on violent, but I don't have a Bella on violent, unfortunately. Not the quiz run, but I thought I'd show you. Going over the last run, this is by far the fastest team out there. It averages around 110, and I think this is the most solid team you can build on a free-to-play speed team. What have we done? We've taken Spectra out and we're just running Lapis for the attack bar reduction, but adding a few Mars is just so much more raw damage, as well as an extra armor breaker. It works wonders. It's usually hits around 110, 120, occasional 130, but also this team has broken the 1 minute mark many times before, and it has failed me once in over 3 refills, which is pretty solid in my opinion. That brings it to a 97% win rate, something like that. So this is a great option if you want to build a speed team. It does require you to build double targets though, which some of you might not find very interesting, but then again, whenever you get that galleon or bird, you eventually want to build a double target anyway. So it's not a really bad option to build the double target. Usually the boss doesn't get immunity on because it dies too quick. Whenever it does, you have the Bella Seas, and usually enough damage to break through the immunity anyway. So as you can see, 115 run, I think it's a solid team. And well, let's move over to the runes. So let's move over to the runes. Targets up first, nothing too special. A violent blade target, attack, crit damage, and attack. You can pause whenever you want, but I'll keep it at the stats for a bit. Violent is not necessary, as you can see on my second target. This one is on fatal. Try to aim for at least 85 crit or as close as possible, putting the rest of the stats in speed, attack, crit damage. I'll go over the runes real quick. Attack, crit damage, attack, as I said, it's just the same. Megan, nothing too special. Make sure you let your Megan move before your Bella. That actually helps a lot, because then the Megan can strip the immunity instead of the C's of Bella, and that way Bella can actually put an armor break right after that, which greatly increases the speed timings of your runs. We used Theomars. My Theo is on violent. It's a little bit, well, it's not optimized, but it's for speed runs because it has HP on slot 2 and a lot of stats though. But try to aim for as much damage as you can get on your Theomars. Lapis is up next. Try to get at least a little bit of accuracy on your Lapis. She is on full broken. Swift would suit her very well. Violent would also work. Fatal also works. But try to get an extra focus set in there to boost up the accuracy. What else did we use? A Spectra is up next. Aim for 100% crit and as high as possible crit damage while having well, I'm lacking 4 accuracy actually. Try to get 55 accuracy, which is the accuracy cap, obviously. Violet is a must. Here I would say it just increases the chances of getting more turns, which equals more attack roll reduction, more slows, etc., etc. And building her this way, I've decided it's she, ensures you of more damage as well, which equals less fails. Let's go over the Baramos, which I build on Rage Play. Instead of going for Violent with HP build, I build it on attacker stats, which greatly increases timers of your runs. Last but not least, Bella. This is my Bella. It's not the ideal Bella. It's a raid Bella, and I just put an accuracy rune on slot 6, so I have accuracy cap. Try to aim for at least 55 accuracy. That's your main part, and some speed. Try to get it on Swift or Violent. Violent would be best, obviously. Mine's built for raids again. It's a little bit of a weird build, but it works. I hope that covered everything that you wanted to know. If you have any other questions, please do leave them in the comments, or just come over to my stream and you can ask them right there. I hope it helped a little bit and it gave you some ideas for speed teams. And I wish you all a lovely day. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.